Javi, you know what? We'll get this meeting started the right way. Armin, can you please get this shit out of the way, please, and let Javi have his last moment, please.
Yeah, Javi, last chance, right here.
Congratulations, Javi, on the championship last year.
That's appreciative.
Congratulations, Javi, on your championship.
All right.
Let's get that out of the way.
That's the last two.
Attaboy.
Say it again.
Congrats.
Congrats.
This is where we get. This is where we get to say.
Congrats.
This is where we get to say. Good luck trying to repeat that shit again, bro.
All right. I appreciate it. Lefty,
man,
lift your mic up too. Lift your mic up so we can hear you.
Man, so we'll jump right into this, man. And man, it sucks that we couldn't get the Facebook Live, but we'll get that shit nailed down for the next time. We'll think of something here that'll work. But man, opening day, baby, 4 days away, right? I'm excited. It's my first time as a manager, so I'm excited. I don't know how many different lineups I've played with already. How many different lineups you guys play with already?
Oh man.
Thinking endlessly thinking endlessly.
Right? I got like 17
for sure. You're thinking about you got to get guys in. You got all these guys. It's opening day. You know how it goes. So it's endlessly.
Right. Bro, I'll bring up a guy. I got EJ like in 5 different spots.
He's put EJ in center field.
You got quality ball players, right? And where they're gonna. It's when you got talent, it's hard. It's hard. But as the day goes by, Sunday gets here. Fuck it. I'm going with this lineup, and that's it.
That's it.
Die.
Hey, live by the sword, die by the sword. Whatever you throw out there, you got to rock with it. But at least you got the bodies to replace that person just in case.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's why you sign 25 ball players.
Yes, sir.
Or 25.
Or 40. Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say nothing.
Wow, already. I was waiting for it.
Oh.
Hey man, what could I do? People want to be a part of it. Let's go. I'm okay with that.
I hear you.
8 coaches, 6 managers, 52 ball players, a water boy.
Man,
one game changer.
Bit of everything. we got a team cook as well.
Hey, I want to know out of all those coaches, who knows how to do the game changer?
That's the question.
Hey, George.
Oh, George.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, that's right. You got
that's
George.
right.
Oh man, let's go.
I forgot all about George.
Smart man.
Yes, sir.
That's messed up. You got him for that? That's messed up.
Hey, it's a shame George didn't get his feedback.
Wow, stop it.
Hey, Nate. How did that conversation go? Did it start with George? Listen, I know I took half of your team from you, but I got a game changer slot if you want it. Was it something like that?
No, hell no. George wanted to do it. George wants to do it.
Oh,
He's not doing that shit, so I was like, cool, you can do that. That's fine with me.
He needed to. I understand.
Hey, it is what it is.
So man, let's
That's my boy, by the way. Shout out George.
He's a good guy.
I love George, bro, but it's gonna be a lot of ball busting, bro. But I love George, and George actually was a good ass outfielder back when he used to play too. All right, so let's just in case you run out of your 15 outfielders, you got one more ready to upgrade.
Yeah, if you guys allow that, he might be a 3 with all you guys.
We're making him a 5 if it comes across the board. You already know that.
Right. I was being generous with the 3, I guess, right?
We're not heading there on. How many?
So man, let's jump into a little. I guess we'll start off with Javi. I'm not gonna say why. I'm just gonna say we'll start off with Javi. Man, let's talk a little bit about changes, maybe additions you've made to your roster, and briefly kind of what you expect from your guys this season. We'll start with just the season.
Yeah, for me, I'm kind of obviously I was in a better position this year because I had the opportunity to keep, pretty much I would say almost 90% of my team. The issue was that the 10% that left out or the 10% that didn't stay were two of some of the best players on the team last year. So we lost Kyle. That was a huge hit, right? And then obviously your dean to what happened. And then we also lost Sidney Avila, which for me, he was probably one of the most underrated players in the league overall. His defense was immaculate last year. So we one of the things that I was looking into was, and I knew that an opportunity for us was hitting. We would win games, but we win games 2-1. We'd win games 1-0, right? And that what that means is every single game that you're playing is going to be tough, and I can say we had probably one of the best defenses, if not the best defense. Our pitching was solid, but we needed to shore up some areas from a hitting standpoint. So what I did was I ended up going out and recruiting more hitters, right? So I think I brought that to the team, and we'll see how it turns out. But I set out for a goal to add more hitters, and I think I went and I did that. So
I'm hating on you with the Gabe pickup. Man,
yeah, that was solid. That was a blessing. That was a blessing. So
that's a bad boy right there.
Yeah, yes.
Papo, 2 years in a row in the championship, Papo. What you got in store this year, bro?
Well, it's a big. I got a big change in my team, basically. One thing we had was a lot of arguments, right? We shut that down this year. Try to bring ball players that wanna or that are committed to playing. I brought a lot of veterans into this team. Brought me a good solid lefty and a leadoff man. We look at it, and a lot of us signed a lot of Venezolanos, and I picked up 2 guys that played in our league, and Luigi and Akanje. Luigi thing last year, he was up there, I think top 5. Akanje, the guy's a stud, Of course, he was kind of mad because I didn't play him too much, but he went out there, he did. EJ, of course, you guys know, former MVP of the league. He brings a lot of power into this team. So one thing that I did bring this year, and my goal was having power, having guys that could hit the ball the opposite way, quality at bat. So as we practice and we do all these games that we play, you look at things like that, and I think that's what I got. I got a lot of power and a lot of opposite field hitters. And, we make this team to win a championship in what you need to fill in, right? And basically, I filled up everything. And then there was another thing that I was short at last year. You guys didn't notice. Last year, I only had 2 pitchers. Last year, I only had Bucci, which I wish he was still with us, but he's got other plans. I picked up Gonzo this year, and it's a big plus for us picking up Gonzo and picking up Joe Diaz. Keep us going. But my thing is this year, it's a whole different team basically, and trust me, it's better than my last 2 years. This year's team is way better than my last 2 teams. Not saying nothing about those guys, because those guys they were good and all that. I'm not saying nothing, but I as a manager, as you look at your roster from back then, I've been coaching for 6 years. Looking at lineups and stuff like that, this is one of my best ones with pitching staff and defense and everything.
Yeah, I low key, I told you on the phone when we talked, I think Gil is like a dark horse for that batting title. I know Justin's always the front runner, and rightfully so, because Justin's a bad boy. But I played with Gil, and I don't know a nicer swing and a dude that can go to any part of the field at any time like Gil does.
Yeah, Gil is. I've been after this guy for the last 4 years, I want to say, and all he said, everybody wants to play with their families, and I understand that. And the minute their family team broke up, he hit me up right away. So what I do, don't worry about it. I don't have to say nothing. Here's the contract. Just sign it. Because the guy got power. He to me, every time I see him, he's quiet. He plays the game the way it's supposed to be. But he's a big pick.
Yeah. I mean, besides them sweet uniforms, man, what you got in stock for us?
Yeah,
Even though you stole our media guy.
Hey, last year's team, I didn't really bring a lot of those guys into the league. No disrespect to them. But we all kind of know what happened to that team last year before the season started. And then my thing was just let me have these guys play. So I really didn't know what I was walking into last year, personnel wise. But obviously I quickly found out what it was about. So this year we completely revamped the team. My main goal was to go after guys that have played the game at any kind of level in the sense of high school, college, minors. What doesn't matter to me. So we definitely revamped that lineup. Got guys that can play positions, multiple positions, versatility. Because to me, it's the crucial part, especially in a recreational game like this one, softball playing inside of a park, is have guys that you could plug and play anywhere. Like we've kind of started talking before we even began the meeting. Where are you going to play all these guys? Who's going to be the guy that's going to play in that role? So to me, this year, it's nice to have versatility in the sense of I could play guys in different positions. And then obviously the signing of Lucas was nice because now I filled in a gap that I lacked in last year, which was pitching. Now I got a guy that can go the full 7 innings and it's not going to phase him. You know what I mean? So I foresee a fun season. Obviously, some guys in the league think that this year's team is last year's team, but they'll quickly find out that's the furthest thing from the truth. And then when they get brought down, it's going to be a different game. Everybody wants to be buddy. So to me, it's just don't be buddy in my face and talk behind my back kind of ordeal. I keep it pretty genuine with everybody. I just expect the same from everybody else. Let's just go out there, put it out on the field. The ball is round, and hopefully that Sunday you take a dub. Because if you don't, I'm not going to let you live it down.
Nobody talks better crap while they're pitching than Lucas.
Hey, I've seen it firsthand.
He used to pitch in the church league, still talking trash to people.
Hey, he still does it. He's standing on the mound. He's just intimidating the batter. So it's all fun and games. You know what I mean? There's no harm foul, no harm play in anything he does. Man sends me church quotes every single day. So Lucas is a guy. He's a great guy to have around.
Good man.
So having him around, I love Lucas. So having was a really good.
Lucas he's genuinely one of the best people that ever did this. Just one of the best spirits and personalities that do this.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
I'm just
Kwamo. Excited to go out there. Field.
My bad. I mean, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, bro.
No, you're good, brother. I'm just excited to go put out there on the field and see what everybody's got, man. Those papers, every team can look great on paper, but once you get on that field, the paper doesn't really matter anymore. It's about what's out on the field.
Shout out to Cedar. Hey, don't forget XL black jersey 44 FLO, no W, okay? Nate Dogg, what you got, dog? How's the squad looking? Or squads looking?
Hey, we're looking good, man. Listen, this is something that I last year, similar to what you did this year, Flo, in terms of you kind of got into it late, right? You didn't get everybody else had the advantage because people were scouting. You weren't sure you were bringing a team until you actually did, right? So that was my scenario last year. This year, my main thing is winning, man, especially when I got this name across my chest. A lot of people don't know about Kwamo. but it was my father's team who had it for many years. And it's one of the big names, you know, in Humboldt Park or all the parks we play at. So I definitely knew that with the name comes a target on the back, and we had to have the guys on the roster to back it up. So you know, I started recruiting early, and that's just that. I try to get great guys at each position, guys who are proven in this league.
Wow. He recruited early, all right, that's for sure.
Hey man,
I was still in the championship with teams were being four, boy.
Hey, everybody has conversations. Everybody has conversations, you know. I hear you guys talking while you guys were in the championship too. It's all right. But, you know, I was just actively going after it. I mean, you know, the season didn't happen prior to. I sat with Originales last year, and we were a little less than a mediocre team, right? I took my L. So this year I'm coming hard. I made sure I recruited the guys I wanted, guys who are proven in this league, played in this league, are veterans in this league. The Frente pitching, wood bat, they're all proven. I didn't want to get guys who play here good, there good, not sure. All my guys are proven in this league, man. So I'm super excited. I hope, you know, not only to wear this uniform and this name across our chest, but with the group of guys. Like I said, we started early. So one thing about us is not only are we talented, but we got the chemistry. And we've been building on that since, you know, November. So, you know, that's my thing. So I'm excited what we're going to bring. And yeah, so we'll see what happens after that.
So real quick, I just want to sorry, Flo. I just want to shout out.
I was going to shout out his dad since you brought him up. You know, shout out to your pops, a legend. Them Cuomo teams were serious back then, man.
Yeah.
And obviously, for those who don't know, Nate Vera's my cousin, and not like second cousin or one of those my compi or something like that. Right, that's my blood cousin. His dad is my uncle. So shout out to him. I saw the sneak peek of his uniforms, and if for those who don't know, you know, we lost our uncle in a tragic incident, and our cousin as well is still battling every single day. So he put a nice little commemorative patch on there for my uncle. So shout out to Nate for doing that, because you know that means a lot. And he was one of the number one supporters of Coamo and that team that Carlos Vera put together. So big shout out for that.
For sure. Yep. And I mean, that's just one of the other reasons, you know, that we're gonna, you know, and the team knows we're all playing for something bigger this year. And I you know, I can say that the same to you, cuz, you know, so
yes, sir.
And probably everyone here, you know, we all got our own reasons, you know, that go beyond baseball. So I'm looking forward to it, man, you know, and definitely had to honor my uncle one way or another. So I thought this was the best way, because he was one of the biggest fans of Coamo. So a lot this year, man, a lot on the line. But at the end of the day, I just want my guys to go out there, play ball, play hard, never give up. You know, like you said, the ball's round. Anything could happen. We've seen that last year, right? So,
yes, sir.
You know, at the end of the day, I'll choose a lot over talent, right? I'll choose guys with heart over talent every day. So, you know, that's something I've been telling my guys, yo, let's work hard. Let's play hard. And that's just that to the final out. So that's what we plan on bringing to the league this year. And, you know, I'm looking forward to it.
That's what's up, bro.
Yes, sir.
Definitely a 360 from the Originales to the Cuomo roster. Hey. Man, kind of like what you said, man. I came late to the party, but I just hate being classified. Like, the classification kind of forces my hand. Right. It was setting up for me to head over to Javi, but you know, the way the classifications fall, there's just no way for that many Bs to all be together. But
yes, our conversation wasn't real then, kid.
He would have been playing for Arecibo, just an FYI, if everybody just so we could put it out there, right?
I guess our conversation wasn't real then, Flo.
Yeah, I'll tell you this: I've come close a few times now to being able to pair up with Javi, and
yes, we have.
Works against it. But man, I'll tell you what, man, I'm kind of geeked up with the squad that I got, man. I kind of caught a blessing. with one of the guys hooking me up with the Venezuelan group that I caught. But before that, you know, my little cousin Ricky put some things in motion for me to grab PD and AB, and like within a week and a half, I was like, wait a minute, man, I'm kind of sitting on something right now. Never the type. I do talk a lot of smack about loaded squads, but this is just the type of ball that I come from. So it's not like, you know, I'm calling someone out their name or disrespecting them. I don't. It ain't like that. I like scrappy ball players, bro. Like I like guys that are gonna grind it out. It's one of the reasons why I was, you know, super happy for Javi last year for winning it, because he grinded that championship out for a couple years. But my squad, bro, I'm so geeked to see them run the bases, the speed, the power. Teaming up with my good friend Cirillo is a big deal too. So yeah, I kind of got a little bit of everything, man, and I'm just anxious to see him hit the field. Similar to you, Nate, I put the family on the chest. Amadeo's the neighborhood in Vega Baja where my grandfather and my Uncle Willie and their brothers all grew up playing baseball. Like literally, when we win the championship this year, we'll be playing in a park in Amadeo. So it hits close to home. You know, and the Martinez family always has one of those reps that kind of goes back and forth, and it is what it is. But we love the ball and we ball hard. So anxious to lock horns. And I guess with that, we'll jump right into week one, right? I'll go real random here. I mean, you got some hitters you're gonna be facing week one in Caciques. A lot of unknowns. I mean, to be honest, you know, your matchup is two teams of unknown, right? You bring in a bunch of new ball players, and we're looking at a brand new team in Caciques that didn't look that bad in Indiana when they were playing.
Nope.
What are you looking for week one, bro?
Hey, man, I'm just looking for a good game. I mean, I got to watch them play last year. They were in the championship game last year in the tournament. They did pretty good. I mean, they had a good squad. So I'm pretty sure they kept a lot of those same guys because their jerseys haven't really changed much. So, I mean, like I said, that ball is round. They're going to bring guys. I'm going to bring guys, and we're going to meet on the battlefield, a.k.a. the field, and put everything out there. Let the best man win. And just take it from there, man. If we hit one more than them and score one more run than them, the game is over. We win. They score one more run than us, they win. At the end of the day, the game's got to be over and somebody's going to win. And I'm trying to take two home the first week, man. Just take two and keep going after that. That second week matchup, I think I face Nate. I think it's Nate, right? I got you the second week, Nate.
No,
I got you, Flo.
I got out of seat.
Oh no, call right. Yeah, I got Yabuko week 2. Yeah. So I definitely want to. I knew it was one of them two. I definitely want to come after them at least with a little advantage, because that first week is going to be, hey, look, with you guys going against Coamo in the first week, that's right there. That's going to be a great game, right? And then we got Arecibo. You're facing Yabucoa the first week, right? A rematch of the championship. So I mean, we have a lot of good games going on this Sunday, where it's going to be crucial. Where for a lot of guys, where this is going to be the game that sets you off and sets you apart from everybody else and puts that little chip either on your shoulder or off your shoulder. Because if you take an L to a team that people didn't expect you to take an L to, people are going to start looking at you a little bit different.
I will say the umpire guy he better be the most bilingual umpire we have, bro.
Oh, 100%, because hey, they don't speak any English. I don't speak any Spanish, because it's gonna be no hombre, no nothing, my brother. Because I know no speak. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna have to we're gonna have to set you up a translator for opening day.
A Rosetta Stone, man. Give me a terp. Give me an interpreter.
Nate, what you got for me opening week, man?
Hey, I think it's going to be a good game, man. I like your team. Amadeo's a good team, man. You pick like you said, you put together some scrappy good guys, man. I love all those guys. All those guys have heart. We know that. Guamo knows that. We know that. You know, we got a target on our back. We feel it. You know, I mean, it's no secret. Everyone's talking about us like we won something before and we didn't. that's kind of a little bit stressful, but I mean, it is what it is. That's something that also comes with the name, you know. But like I said, I feel like whoever we play, all 7 teams, they're gonna give us their best out there. They're gonna give us 110% every. So you know, I can expect a good game against you guys. Great pitching battle. You know, I think they're going to be two games of great pitching, and you know, the best team's going to win at the end of the day. I'm hoping we take out 2 because, like Armin said, you know, rolling into that week 2 with 2 wins is going to set the momentum for the season. So you know, you want to go into week 2 with positive vibes, positive energy, and dubs behind you. So that's the ultimate goal right there. But I think they're going to be 2 good games, that's for sure.
I definitely think there's going to be a lot of pitching going around there. But if I learned anything last year, pitching don't win in this league. I had to kind of learn that one the hard way last year because, you know, I got to pitch next to Rosie. Chops had a good year, and shout out to Chops, by the way, making his recovery. But yeah, Sunday, aside from the pitching, I think what I'm anxious to see is, I think my guys kind of, how do I say, the newness of some of the Tomadale pitching style kind of caught them off in Indy.
Right.
So I'm looking for them to kind of bounce back. It's kind of nice to face you in Indy and get a sneak peek of that lineup. But the guys know, I mean, that was a tight game all the way to the last inning.
Yeah. That's
and
what
these
I said
guys
about
know,
pitching.
you know. Yeah, well, defense too. I mean, defense is going to be. If we went position for position, I think, you know, obviously I already knew who was on your roster. I know you're not familiar with a lot of my guys, but I am. I just kind of felt like spot for spot, we're running with each other. You know, the speed is both there, the pitching's there, the hitting is going to be what ultimately brings a W home. So, you know, we only get to face each other 3 times, so I kind of feel like opening day is going to have a real playoff feel to it. At least that's what I've asked my guys to do, treat it like a playoff game right off the bat. So,
right.
And then we got the rematch of the rematch. Arecibo, Yabucoa, Azuca, and really Azuca, bro. I called Papo I texted him at 7:10 this morning, and he called me back within seconds, bro. But I don't know which one of you guys want to kick it off, man. But let's say, Javi, what are you looking forward for? What are you looking forward to on Sunday, bro?
There's no surprises between Arecibo and Yabucoa. Let's just put it out there. Me and Papo, I was thinking about it because Papo said he's been doing it for 6 years. I've been doing it for 6 years. So me and Papo,
you guys are old,
we've been in some wars together already. Like this is nothing new for us. So you know, when Arecibo and Yabucoa come together, it's they're exciting games. That's just the way it is. And the other thing is we've got the Venezuelan connection. There's a lot of guys on his team that know a lot of guys on my team, right? So it's, you know, those guys want to show out to their buddies, and the opposite from his end, right? So I think we're looking forward to that. I think the other thing is that, you know, we played together. We played against each other in a practice game already. We played against each other in the tournament. There's no surprises. We know what each other's going to bring, which means that in the end of the day, it's going to be the team that comes out and executes the most. That's going to give themselves an opportunity to win. But I've been doing this long enough to know that the first week don't make or break you. You know, you want to win, but let's be honest. The way it really kind of rolls is the team that's the hottest going into the playoffs is usually the team that comes out and wins the championship. So for me, I give my team an opportunity and guys to play, because everybody wants to come out on opening day and actually play, right? So it gives me an opportunity to kind of do that and mess around with the lineup. But then also, I know my guys, and we want to go out there and win. So we wouldn't want it any other way except for playing the team we played against in the championship.
Lefty, what you got set up? What you looking forward to on Sunday, bro?
Well, I'm looking forward to facing of course, Arecibo. You guys know that Arecibo is my hometown.
Mhm.
Why I can't rep my own hometown, because I've been here for the last 6 years, and every time I'm making a team, who's there? Arecibo. And yes, like he said, we always, every series, every Sunday that we play, those games are tough. You know, I've had a season against him going down 2-0, came back and beat him in two, in five, basically. I'm saying. So it's every battle, every day, every time we play these guys over there. He's got his boys, the way they play every year, the way he how can I say, practice these guys, and he brings them together as a family. That that right there, bro, is a pump up to a
It's
team.
annoying.
It's annoying, but you know what? Up your team, and once that you guys are always together, but like all of us are saying, everybody wants to win, and yeah, I'm not gonna go out there and um basically my thing is having everybody play. More of first half of the season, everybody plays. Second half is whoever um how can I say it? Is whoever got the best batting average and stuff like that. I look at that now. Playing against Javi in the first week is a plus with 2 dubs. Why? It's because he's gonna be one of those teams that are gonna be on top. And I want to take advantage of being up 2 games on him, that if there's a tiebreaker, I want those 2 dubs in the first Sunday. So it's gonna be a repeat. You know what? I'm gonna tell you something, Javi. This team is hungry. This team was 2 outs from the championship last year, and all they did was and talk about, yeah, Arecibo beat us 2 games already. I told him it's okay, man. It's practice. We all practice, but my thing is when it's prime time, it's prime time, and we're gonna see a battle. So my thing is, that's it. And I tell you that, Hobby, we're gonna have a battle on Sunday.
Hey, Javi, you could get, since Lefty's from Arecibo, you could get him a championship Arecibo jersey, bro.
Hey, trust me, he don't want that one. Trust me,
Don't
he don't
that.
want that one. He don't want that one. That's for sure.
Oh shit, that's good.
Oh man, I'm messing with you, Papa, bro. Okay, I guess we'll do like 2 more questions too, because it's getting kind of late.
Yeah.
Yeah. Accolades. A lot of guys like to shoot for the MVP and the batting titles, and the pitching titles. So how about we'll go around? You could take. We'll start with the batting title. One person from your team, and just throw someone out from another team, of who of who you could see making a serious run for the batting title this year. Armin, go ahead, kick it off, bro.
Batting title. Another team. Man. As much as I think everybody's gonna think it too, I think EJ takes it. I think EJ takes the batting title from Yabucoa. He's gonna get that. And then for my team, I got Pedro taking it, a runner-up from last year's home run derby. Very underrated player. Very, very quiet, keeps to himself, but the dude's got a stick, and he can get on base, and his average is there, man. So, I mean, I got EJ from Yabucoa, and then Pedro from the Mets.
Nice. Nate, who you got, bro?
Hey man, I'm gonna go with Justin. I think that kid could hit with a broomstick if I give him one. He's one of the best hitters I've seen.
You could give him one Sunday if you want, bro.
Hey, you don't want him to go 4 for 4 with a broomstick, kid.
Hey, if he goes 4 for 4 with a broomstick, I'll buy your jerseys next year, bro.
Nah, yeah, but I think Justin. I mean, we've seen it. You know, many years. He's always up there for the batting title. This year's not gonna be nothing different. You know, we're talking about guys with chips on their shoulder. That's one of them, right? He hates to lose. He's one of the guys who hates to lose the most that I've ever met. We all hate to lose, but that guy hates losing. So I think he has a chip on his shoulder this year, and I think he's gonna win the batting title for my team. If I got to go with anybody else on another team, probably gonna have to say EJ as well, man. EJ is a great hitter. We all know that. You know, he's always up there as well. Hits great. So yeah, those are my two choices right there.
Javi, who you got, brother?
It's tough for me. I'm gonna just only because he's won it already before, and I could foresee him now that he's considered a veteran in this. Richard Alvarado, he's just a hitter. You know what I mean? He's a flat out hitter. He's go to right field, left field, up the middle, and it's just because he's seen the pitching now. So there's nothing that's going to surprise him, you know, at this point. So for me, I'll put him up there. From another team, it's tough, man. There's a lot of good hitters. It's tough. I definitely. I mean, obviously, Justin's always a guy that's going to be up there. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. He knows that, and everybody knows that. I think there was one year in the Milan, he ended up hitting over 700 or 750.
Yeah.
And then he came over here and he hits, you know, almost 600 over here. So let's be honest, right? It's that's no surprise. But somebody to me that's a dark horse, and somebody that I know that could probably give him a run for his money. I'm gonna have to go with. I'm gonna have to agree. I'm gonna have to go with EJ. I've already faced EJ like 8 times this whole offseason, and I think he's 8 for 8 against me. So, and that's with a shift. So, you know what I mean? Like to be honest, he's just. I told him too when he got on base at the tournament. I'm like, man, because he played for me 4 years ago. I'm like, why didn't you do this for me? Now all of a sudden you out here, you getting on base every single time. But yeah, I would say EJ's one to watch out for as well.
Lefty, who you got, bro?
Well, you guys are ready. But I got a couple. But yeah, EJ is he's a horse. He's a caballo. He's out there, and every week he's working. He's working out every day, working out, hitting the tee. He's on it. Right before I started this, he was with the girls practicing. You know, and this guy, he's hungry, and last year or the last couple of years I faced him, it was the same thing. Like Javi said, you know, it's like, shit, I can't even walk this guy before him. We need to get him out because we got EJ's coming up, and he's gonna come through regardless, you know. And now that this year is pressure for him because he's not playing with his dad, now he's just gonna ball out. So that's who I'm picking. It's EJ. Now, Justin Gonzalez, that guy right there is best player in MLSA, best player in Humboldt Park. That guy is, and I told him even when we swept them, bro, every time I see you, you're on base. You're the only one.
Yeah.
And just like everybody said, there's Justin, not 10. And that's what happened on the other side. So Justin Gonzalez is my other pick. And Javi said it right. There's a lot of guys out there that can hit for average 100. Rick is one of them. The guy's a stud. I'm going to tell you, I don't know if you've seen this guy, Cosmati. What's his last name, Javi?
Carlos.
Yeah, Carlos. I'm gonna call him Cosmetic.
Y'all gave him a whole new name already.
Yeah, because Carlos, that guy right there, that kid could rake. It could rake. If you guys haven't seen this guy, you'll see. I'm gonna let you guys. But Justin is my guy. What about?
I would say from my team, I'm gonna roll with Chico. I felt like he started off slow last year because he was adjusting to the differente style. But I think it was like 5-6 games in, he caught fire and still ended up hitting just under 500. And I've seen a more focused Chico this winter. So I've won a championship with Chico. I know when he's in dog mode, and I kind of feel like he's about to come out in dog mode. And even the tragedy with his little brother, I think, is giving him a bigger chip on his shoulder to play for as well. From another team, obviously, I don't like facing Justin. I look forward to the challenge. That doesn't mean I like it. But I'm going to go with a dark horse. And I think I said it earlier. I've played next to Gil, got all the way to a championship in the Milan with Gil. And I think Gil hit about 600 that year. He's one of those lefties where he sprays the whole field. I mean, he goes left field, right field, up the middle. He'll take your head off if you're the pitcher. He can split the gap and leg out doubles and triples. So, shout out to Gil and the whole Claudio family. Lane Tech is what it is. But Gil's my dark horse pick for that batting title. And while we're on the subject of accolades, might as well throw. This is a hot topic for me, not because I'm a pitcher, but because I feel like there's a whole nother group of pitchers that are going to be involved in a conversation after this season that are going to make classifying pitchers very eventful next winter. So I know Dennis won pitcher of the year last year, right? It was Dennis that won it last year. Obviously, you always have to account for Dennis. I'm gonna go with a pick here though. No disrespect to Dennis or Eric. I just think that Rosie is probably one of the most difficult pitchers to square up because he moves the ball. I mean, I saw him in the gym last year when I first met him, and I don't know if anybody else can bring the ball off the floor the way Rosie does. But I'm gonna throw Rosie out there. And on my own squad, I think Cirillo is one of the best pitchers that I've ever played next to. And I think Cirillo has the capability of coming in and holding down big teams the way Dennis and Eric and myself do. Nate Dogg, you want to jump in?
Yeah, of course. Let's see. I like all my pitchers, man. I think they all could win some awards this year. Rosie,
all six
Eric,
of them.
all six of them. Rosie, Eric,
that includes
Dennis.
the coach.
You guys don't want me to put Juji in or Gio from the. I'll take Gio off the coaching roster, and he might win. But nah, man. But I love all those guys. Obviously, we all know, those guys are great pitchers, right? They can control the game. But I think you have an ace for a reason, right? You have an A pitcher for a reason, and I would have to go when it's on my own team. I'm gonna have to give it to Dennis. He's another man, who has a chip on his shoulder this year. Battling a lot of different things, and I think this year he's gonna show it. So I'm confident with that. And then in terms of in the league. I'm gonna have to go with Hector. Hector's a veterano. He's another one. He didn't win last year, so he's gonna come this year, and he's gonna take it personal when he's on the mound. So that's the guy I'm gonna have to choose.
Sounds good. Dennis, Hector, Lefty, who you got, bro?
Well, same like Nate said. Yeah, I got 3 pitchers that are good de frente, movements on the balls, and they're horses. I never managed Gonzo, but when I face him, the guy could go out there and he could pick. He was Cardinals and he still almost beat us. With but again, I got to go with my caballo. If I'm not mistaken, he was tied up with on something for a year, but I was more games won by Dennis. That's the reason he won the title. But more Vic Dennis, he won the. It's good. They're on my side. For everybody else, man, there's a good pitchers out there because Flo, you're one of them. The one of them. You got Nate pitchers are good. Dennis, Eric, and then you got he's got one of my pitchers camp as well. That guy's a horse. That guy's on the mound. My click, and you guys are probably gonna be like, is Lou Santiago. I love the guy. He pitches with heart, and he'll go out there. He's losing by 8, and the game ain't over for him yet. Because as long as the guys are hitting, he's gonna keep them there in the game. And thing that I always give to Lou there to win. So he's Lou Santiago.
Who are we missing here?
Arecibo on the Mets.
Javi, who you got on the pitching tip this year, bro?
I'm gonna make it quick. For me, like you said, Lou and Benji. I'll be honest. Between those 2 guys, I'm blessed to have 2 good pitchers. Lou, he's been doing it forever. He's probably the most steady pitcher out there. That's my honest opinion. Benji has made really big strides, and you can tell he's coming into his own. And he came up big in the last 2 games in the championship, and throughout the season, he was one of the pitchers we were relying upon. So I'm gonna go with Benji if on our team, and then outside of our team, I'd probably, and I'm gonna stay with him. I'm gonna stay with Hector. Hector's just he's consistent 24/7. That's all I gotta say. He's the mailman. He always delivers on time.
I'm gonna use that Malone line and
yeah, I was gonna say
the only difference is Hector's a real mailman. He does deliver.
All right. Got it. I mean, close this out with this question, bro.
Hey, I'm gonna make it fast, bro. Not fast like Javi, actually fast. My team, Lucas. Other team, Dennis. Done.
Sounds good.
There's no need to go into details. That is what it is. Dennis has proved himself. I mean, he's definitely one of those guys that's on the top when it comes to pitching. Everybody wants a guy like that. So,
all right. And then I say to close it out, man. If we can make it quick, we could actually have a decent time here. I'd say the 50 points, right? And I don't really have a question, so I'll just share my thoughts real quick. So that's part of the reason why I became a manager, because I wanted a little bit more say-so with the classification process. And just complaining about it on Sundays just doesn't get it done. I'll say for the most part, I kind of felt like every team did good grabbing their 50, right? No matter how you broke down your 50, whether it was with 18 guys or 42 guys, all jokes aside, the reality was the 50-point system allowed us to go get who we wanted and who we needed, right? And if one of us didn't take advantage of it the way somebody else did, that's literally their problem. So I'll say that I'm a fan of the 50. I am one of the guys that's very happy that the zero's gone. No diss to nobody. I do mean that. Not dissing nobody. But I am happy that the zero's gone because I kind of feel like that could prevent the merging of teams, right? When you start to see merging, you guys know this, especially like Lefty and Javi, because you guys have been doing it for a couple of years now. When you see teams start to merge, you see leagues start to fold. It's literally like a matter of time. So I was happy that Lou and Eddie took that upon themselves to get rid of that zero for next year. So with the 50 points, man, I think all of us did differently, right? I mean, Nate's got a powerhouse squad on paper. They're looking to deliver. Javi was literally able to retain his core group or all his players and still add, a lot of salsa to that lineup. Lefty sneakily, while all the attention was on other teams, ended up with 4 lefties that he didn't have last year that are game changers, right? Gabe, EJ, Gil, and Luigi, right? I mean, 2 of those guys are potential batting champs, right, in that conversation. And then Armin gets to bring in a whole new squad. And I know Louis, I got to see a little bit of his team. They looked like they were playing some good defense in Indiana, which is what you want to see from a new team. So your quick thoughts on the 50? However you want to do it, there's no real structure to this question, but I just want to give props to all of us because that was not as stressful and as strenuous as I thought it was going to be. We got through it in 3 meetings for the most part without anybody getting personal with each other. Like, kudos to all you guys for the way we went through that. Anybody could jump in. No real structure here.
For me, the 50 is the best thing that's happened so far in any league. The reason why is because every manager gets their input on each and everybody's roster. I've been a part of this for a long time, and in other leagues, they hand you a paper and they tell you this is who you could choose from, right? And that just has continued not to work. So I give kudos to Lou for being open to be able to make some changes, to be able to make it as fair for everybody, right? And everybody's got 50. So whether you use 35, you use 50, you use 40, that's your choice as a manager, right? And the way you kind of put your team together, that's your choice as well. But honestly, in the last year in itself, it proved to work. It proved to work because there were 4 teams. I would say there were 7 teams that any team, in all honesty, could have won, right? And the other 2 teams, Armin, obviously you struggled. It was your first year. You actually took over a team that you had nothing to do with, which is crazy to me. Big props to you for even doing something like that. And then, you had the Cardinals, which obviously were struggling to have players to come and play week in and week out. But, think about it. 7 teams and anybody could win because the classification what gave you the opportunity to choose whatever player you wanted or build it however you want. To me, it's a big game changer, and it's the reason why MLSA is such a competitive league.
I agree with that, man. I love the 50 points. I think the main thing is visibility, right? I was able to kind of build my team and know the guys that I want based on because we know how we rate each player, right? The 5 tools. We know that we got their stats in front of us. So it's easy for me, a guy who wants to come stronger next year, to already start to build and picture a new team on paper of what that might look like while being under the 50 points, versus just, the board giving you a list of players. And obviously, aside from those A's who are really, really A's, other guys might be on there that you weren't expecting. So this is probably, like you said, this is the best way to do it. I think it's going to continue to bring competition. Each team's going to be great, competitive, and we're already seeing it. But yeah, for me, I think it's huge because it gives us visibility. I don't think anybody ever questions someone who's hitting 600, speed, arm, great defense is a 5 or a 4. You know, we know he's a 5. So there's no surprises when it comes to classifications aside from you, Flo. But but no, all in all, man, I love it though. That's for sure.
Hey, the guy with the most zeros on his team wants to bring you into this, Flo. Come on now.
I know, man.
The 50-point system to me works great. I mean, everybody, like Javi said, everybody gets to build their team however they want. Where you can get away with it slightly in a sense of new guys, bringing you guys into the league, starting him at a 2.5. So in a sense, it works out in your favor. Or, you know, if you bring a guy that's really a 2, that 0.5 could mess you up. An example for Nate with the 40-man roster where that 0.5 can mean, you know, does he rate another guy a 0 or not? But all jokes aside, no, but the 50-point system, man, it's worked well. Like Javi said, last year it allowed 7 very, very competitive teams to nobody knew. I mean, the team that everybody thought was going to win got eliminated relatively early on, and it was a dog-eat-dog world out there, and that was all because of the way guys built their teams up with the 50-man or 50-point system. So I feel like it's a great tool to have for all of us. And then like Nate brought up where, hey, I could scout players and know, hey, this guy's a 5. How many of these guys can I put on my team before I'm kind of capped out and I can't add anymore? So it works for us. It works for the players. It allows us to bring, you know, different groups of guys together every year, where some guys don't want to play on the same team every year. They want to try something different and they want to go somewhere else. And it works out for everybody, the managers and the players. So, I mean, kudos to Lou, kudos to Eddie, kudos to the league, kudos to us. Big hats off to us. I mean, like we always say, without us, there's really no league. So I feel like we've done a great job up to this point and just keep it rolling.
Me with the 50 points, is actually one of the best things that's happened in softball. One of the best things. Why? Is because now you got guys that were A's in different leagues that could play with each other. I'll bring guys up. Let's bring up a guy like a Jay Miranda, right? The guy, he's an A-ball player in probably any of the leagues over there in Humboldt. You bring him here, he's probably a 2 or 3 because he can defense and he can speed, right? So, those are the things that works out with the point system here. To make a team with that point system, that's what you work on, right? You look at, okay, cool. This guy here can't run. He can't defense too, but he's a power. Now you got that too already because he's got that power. Now you got the power. Now you come up and it's like, okay, cool. This guy's a 5, but he's got all 5 tools. You build those points by that. And the reason I tell you this, because last year I had 2 teams. I went to this team at 6 4s. And it wasn't easy to break this team up, but I had. So I stood with my core and I had to rebuild again. And as some of the guys started quitting from teams and I started picking my pieces that were fitting good. Second, ended up almost 2 outs for winning a championship with my second team. So point system is where it's at. When you classifying ball players, no, that's not what you want. You want guys that want to play together. Like you gotta, like everybody, like you, Flo, you got your group already. Hobby's got his team coming back. You know what I'm saying? Because again, those point system is what keeps your team together. And if they go low, so now you got another point or 2 for next year. So, you know, it's great. And again, kudos to the league. They did a great job in doing this. I mean, again, I was surprised with the point system because I didn't even know about it until the second year. But it's actually fun because now you gotta add. If you don't know how to add, then that's messed up.
I think what's nice about it too is that it eliminates politics more than anything else. It's not someone who has never played the game, and I've always been adamant about that. It's not someone who has never played the game telling me who I can go play with. That just doesn't exist here.
Nope.
So that's why I'm a fan of the 50. Well, man, I say that would be good for now. I'll find a way to, get these posted up. Probably not. I'll try it today for a little bit. But man, good luck to everybody. I know we've all had long winters and all that good stuff, man. And look, at the end of the day, this league bends, breaks, and succeeds because of managers, right? We bring the money, we bring the players, we put the lineups out there.
Flo, are we still recording? Is this still recording?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm recording it. You can stop recording it if you want, but I'm still
no, you're good. You're good. I just want to make sure too when we get the word out there is that leagues need managers. The only way teams get built is through managers. That's Papo coming back for 6 years. That's 6 years there's been a team in a league, right? Me coming for 6 years, that's 6 years that a team has been a league. Teams and managers continue to allow for leagues to thrive. And there's a lot of work that goes into being a manager. There's a lot of work, there's a lot of time. And in some cases, there's a lot of money, right? So, and I get it, and that's why some people don't want to be managers. It's very hard. It's not easy, and then it's not just what you do on Sunday. It's Monday through Saturday, and the calls that you take, and the psychological conversations you have to have with players to be able to make sure that everybody's on the same page, because it's not easy to do that. So I just want to, number one, thank all the guys who decided to build a team this year to allow for us to have another year where we're going to have a competitive league. But I will say this: if you're somebody that's interested in making a team and building a team and coming out to play in a competitive league, this is the league. This is the league for you because it's family oriented. We have a great atmosphere. Look at what we're doing here. These are managers who are about to go, and play each other that are together here to be able to put something together like this so we can make it happen. So I just wanted to make sure we put it out there that we want managers. We want managers and we want teams. The more managers, the more teams, the more bigger a league we could have. And you got 50 points to make your team. Trust me, that's more than enough to make a really good team.
You can make 3 teams out of. Never mind. I'm just
Now this.
How many zeros?
All right, fellas. I appreciate you guys. Like I said, we'll find a way. I'll find a way to get this posted, and then maybe we'll do this in a few more weeks. We'll see what the feeling is.